Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock. It's a Thursday. It's time for another video. We pushed the Magic news back to Thursday this week because the Magic podcast was back on Tuesday. We wanted to make a video of it. But today is Magic News. This is where every week I bring to you the news that's happening in the Magic community. And it's been a very newsworthy week this week. It has been a very, very newsworthy week. There's a lot going on. Now, if you have any Magic news that you want me to talk about on this channel, please let me know down below. I am more than happy to talk about it. But without further ado, we're going to get straight into it, and we're going to look at this week's Magic news. So first off, I want to shout out Alakazam Magic. Now, Alakazam are killing it right now under the watchful eye of Peter and Harry Nardi. And I want to give a shout out to Daniel Chard, who just did his Alakazam Academy recently, and I haven't seen it myself firsthand yet, but from everyone I've spoken to, it was absolutely barn-busting. If you don't know Daniel Chard, he is a real worker. He does close-up, he does stages, technically amazing. He's released a lot of Magic in the past, and it's rare that you see him lecture. So if you want a chance to see Daniel do his thing, then you can go and check out his content on Alakazam right now. Okay, so I was hoping that I could stop talking about this because it feels like I'm talking about this every single week. But we do need to talk a little bit more about Inject, because since I spoke about it last week and I talked about the communication issues, things got worse in the Facebook group for Inject, and a lot of people were unhappy. Like I said to you last week, people dividing into two camps, those that are very pro-Inject, those that are very against Inject. And thankfully, Greg Rostami stepped in. Now, if you don't know what's happened, basically, Inject has gone through some issues, and the Google Peak feature of Inject has gone down. It's been down for a while. Nobody knows when it's coming back, and it's the reason a lot of people picked up Inject for the Google Peak and also for the lazy Inject. I own Inject, but I don't use Inject, so I have no dog in this fight at all. But I have found it very interesting watching the whole scenario unfold, people asking the same questions over and over again and not really getting much of a reply. And then the people that are replying are very pro-Inject and are kind of shooting down the people that are actually making the original post in the first place. So Greg has stepped in and he said, look, he doesn't have all the answers right now. He is currently working on doing an Inject 2. He doesn't know how much that's going to cost. He doesn't know how much extra it's going to cost. He doesn't really know anything right now. He's just working around the clock to get it done as soon as possible. A lot of people were upset that the ad copy hasn't changed, that the copy on the App Store for Inject hasn't changed to reflect the fact that the Google Peak is down. And Greg has said that he can't do that because if he goes in to change that description, he's not going to get access to the video or something. I'm not really 100% sure. I don't really do this side of things. I don't really know. But there seems to be a reason of which I don't understand, so fair enough. But here's the thing. Look, if you've got Inject, realistically, you have two options. The first option is you're unhappy with the situation, in which case, just stop using it. Just write it off as a bad deal, and hopefully you can come back to it in the future. If you use Inject all the time and you're happy with it, great, carry on using it. And if you're unhappy that you bought it recently and you bought it for the Google Peak, and the Google Peak is obviously no longer a part of the project or the product, then just, you know, contact Greg and say, look, I'm not happy. I'm sure he'll reach out to you. I believe he's trying to speak to people more on PM at the moment than he is on sort of an open forum, which I don't think it's the wisest thing to do. I don't think communicating just on Facebook is the wisest thing to do. But, you know, it is what it is. The bottom line is, at the moment, Inject isn't working. You know what? It just shows how kind of respected Inject is, because this wouldn't be a problem for a lot of apps. If a lot of apps went down, people would be like, oh, whatever. It's that Inject is integrated in so many other people's apps that when that goes down, it has a knock-on effect, and a lot of people get very passionate about it. At least Greg is now communicating with the people in the community. I imagine behind the scenes he's very stressed out about this whole thing. I know I would. Bottom line is, it's kind of a wait and see game. I question whether an $800 price tag is worth it. Maybe it is. I don't know. We'll wait and see. But at least there's communication happening. So Richard Young posted on Facebook that the Emerich brothers, who did, or the Emerich brothers, are touring the USA later on this year. And in order to kind of create hype about their USA tour, they have put up on YouTube their full arena tour that they filmed last year in the UK. That a lot of people went to. Tickets were, available, and a lot of people went. A lot of people had really good things to say about that show. Well, it's now available to watch for free on their YouTube channel. So if you want to see a big scale illusion act do their thing, and you don't want to pay anything for it, you can do so by going onto their YouTube channel, and you're going to see the video right there. So thank you to Richard Young for posting this on Facebook. He posted it in the Magic Circle Facebook group, but I thought it would be valuable information for everybody here. If you want to see a really cool show, a show that a lot of people were buying tickets for last year, it is now available directly on the Emerich Brothers YouTube channel. If you just go to YouTube and you type in ENRICH Brothers YouTube, you'll see it there. Subscribe to their channel and watch the video. And if you're in the USA, keep an eye out for them because they're coming there later this year. I mentioned this earlier on, but I'll mention it again now. For those of you that don't know, the Magic Podcast with me and Lloyd is back. We put a new episode up on Tuesday, and we are planning on doing it more semi-regularly. The problem is Lloyd is very busy. He's all over the place. I'm all over the place. He's busy with 2 kids. I'm busy with 2 kids. He's renovating house. He works for Murphy's. I'm just busy being me. And we don't have time to do it every single week like we used to, but we do like to try and film these things wherever possible, but we can't guarantee a regular upload schedule. But if you want to get your Magic Podcast fix, and you want to hear me and Lloyd moaning about the Magic community and talking about Peter Nardi's nuts, then the latest episode of the Magic Podcast is up. You can go and check it out on Spotify, or actually you can go and check it out on YouTube. I put this one on YouTube as well. So you're welcome. The podcast is back. Next up, we have TCC. TCC have announced in the latest email that they are going to, after their May sale, they are going to have to adjust their shipping rates or their rates for USA customers. The reason I mention this is because a lot of people have been asking about this. They've been speculating about this with everything that's going on in the States with regards to tariffs. Will that have an impact or a knock-on effect on companies like TCC that are shipping over to America? It looks like the answer is yes. TCC have announced by email that they are going to have to adjust their prices in line with the tariffs that are going on in America right now. This is not a political web platform. This is not. I never talk about politics. Never really would talk about religion either, because I know those are the 2 things that people argue about. But it's worth noting this because people were expecting something like this to happen, and it has. Having said that, TCC's prices are ridiculously cheap anyway. So, I still think they're going to be very reasonable. But after their May break, they are putting their prices up to some degree. I don't know how much, but TCC's prices are going up in line with everything that's going on in the States. Okay, so next up, we have the South Tyneside Convention. Now, the South Tyneside Convention 2024 was one of my favourite conventions of all time. And they've started, Steve Gore and the team at the South Tyneside Convention have started announcing acts that are going to be on the convention in 2025. Now, just so you know, the convention is taking place on the 18th and the 19th of October. So it's over the 18th and the 19th of October in South Tyneside, obviously, at the Custom House. And we have 2 acts that have been announced, first of all. Jackie Yu is the first act, who's doing a brand new lecture. And I imagine because they've got Jackie there, he will also be on the gala show. Jackie is an incredible performer and a social media megastar. And he's also a very fun performer and lecturer to watch. And has a lot of original magic. As well as Jackie Yu, we also have the second name announced as well, who is Ruby Ferez. Now, you might know Ruby from a couple of things. He has fooled Penn and Teller. So you might know him from that. Or if you don't know him from Penn and Teller, Illusionist brought out the Ruby Cup earlier last year. And that is obviously Ruby Ferez's product, the Ruby Cup, which was a global smash hit. So talk about leading with 2 really big names, Ruby Ferez and Jackie Yu. They're 2 very big names. So South Tyneside Convention, 18th to 19th of October. They've started announcing names and they've really hit the bar high with Ruby Ferez and Jackie Yu. I'm definitely going to be there. And if you are, I'll see you there. Okay, so next up, I want to talk about Britain's Got Talent. Now, we talked about last week's semi-final of Britain's Got Talent. This year, last week, there was the first semi-final, and unfortunately, neither of the Magic acts went through. We already talked about this last week. Teddy, unfortunately, didn't perform. We still don't know why, but Teddy didn't perform last week, and we didn't see him on the second week's show, so not too sure about that. But going into week 2, into the second semi-final, there were 2 other Magic acts on. And the 2 Magic acts, first of all, there was the Illusionist, dressed all in pink, doing really high energy, high scale illusions. I saw a bunch of different illusions there, too many to name, doing it in a very sort of theatrical, over the top, camp, fun style. Now, the thing with illusionists is you would either love this style or hate this style, regardless of whether you love it or hate it. They had a great impact on the audience. They had a great impact on the judges. All 4 judges gave great responses, said that the guy was a total showman. I completely agree with them. I thought that the act was very fun. The second act that went up was, and I'm terribly sorry, I can't remember her name. I did have it written down. It's on a piece of paper in there. But I mentioned that I very much liked her audition. And in her semi-final, she basically did a card sword routine, had someone pick a card. There was a whole bunch of blindfolding and gagging going on, and it was a very kind of provocative, sexy routine that ended up with a massive production of 3 of Hearts. Basically, it was a forced card that got produced in many, many, many different ways. The reason I bring this up is because I actually thought it was a well-constructed act. She had a certain amount of stage presence, absolutely. It was a very simple act. There was nothing difficult that was going on. Anybody who's been in Magic for any length of time will know exactly what was happening there. But you know what? She got a standing ovation from all 4 judges. She got a standing ovation from the audience, and everybody loved the act. The reason I bring that up is because what I have seen that really annoys me, I've talked about this on the channel when I used to do rants, but I've seen a lot of magicians going on their public Facebook feed, not in a magic group, not discussing this amongst magicians, but on their public Facebook feed, going on about how they didn't like the act, how, it was obvious she was using I saw one person on Facebook, bearing in mind they're followed by a bunch of lay people, going, it was so obvious she was using a Mirage deck. You know, there was a lot of negativity towards her act. There was a lot of people that was talking about her act in a very negative way, publicly. And I went onto the YouTube comments, and there were a lot of people going on YouTube saying, I'm a magician, and I thought this was terrible. I can't believe BGT allowed it, and so on and so forth. 3 points on this. Number 1, it was a very well-constructed act. And if I was going on stage, I would absolutely be happy to perform an act like this. Second of all, the people that are moaning about her performance, the people who are publicly saying that it wasn't a very good act, they've probably never gone on Britain's Got Talent themselves. They've probably never had the balls or the testicular fortitude to go out and do this. This is a young lady who has absolutely had the balls to go on the TV show. She's had the balls to get through to the semi-finals, and she should be nothing but proud because she went out there and she got a standing ovation from an entire room full of people, and standing ovation from the judges. A lot of the time when magicians are negative about an act and they do it publicly, they'll be like, this was terrible, but they couldn't do any better. They couldn't do it, and if they did, they'd be in that situation where they're on a semi-final of a nationally televised TV show, but they're not there, and she was, and that just speaks volumes. The third thing is, I don't understand why magicians do this. I don't understand why magicians act negatively towards another magic act publicly to the general public. Why do I not understand that? Well, anytime a magic act does well on Britain's Got Talent, I see my inquiries spike. And the reason is the general public still watch Britain's Got Talent. A lot of magicians don't like Britain's Got Talent. Fair enough. It is a great showcase of magic in this country. The amount of gigs I go to when public will turn around to me and say, do you watch Britain's Got Talent? Or you should go on Britain's Got Talent. I get more people these days saying, you should go on Britain's Got Talent than, are you in the Magic Circle? Nobody mentions the Magic Circle these days, but they mention Britain's Got Talent a lot. And Russ Stevens, to his credit, has absolutely changed the perception of magic on Britain's Got Talent. And anytime an act goes on there, and does well, I see a spike in inquirers. I don't understand why magicians would be negative. I don't understand why magicians would publicly be negative about any magic act. You could, what if you want to give your opinion and say, you know what, it's not the sort of act that I would do. It's not for me. But, I can see obviously that the entire audience loved it. There's ways of being diplomatic about this. I personally would use it as a marketing piece and say, hey, write a blog. The number one reason you should book a magician for your next event. And you bring up Britain's Got Talent and you say, well, the thing is, Britain's Got Talent proves that magic is more popular than ever before. We're on week 2 of the semi-finals out of 5. And so far, 2 of the acts on each week have been magicians. That shows how popular magic is in this country. Have you got a magician for your next event? I don't understand why magicians want to go out there and be negative, other than as a dick measuring context. I just find it stupid, to be perfectly honest. And if you're a magician, your job is to promote the art form. Your job is to show people that magic is an art form. And we can't do that by just sitting here and just being armchair critics, slagging off any act that goes on Britain's Got Talent. And let's be honest, 99.99% of magicians that are sitting there slagging this person off would never get a chance to be in that position in a million years. Cue for the magician that's sitting here watching this to comment in the comments down below and go, well, Craig, it's fixed. It's not fixed. I'm telling you right now, it's not fixed. And I will stand here and defend it to the earth and back, having been through 2 Got Talent programs with Ryland and seen the process. It is very much not rigged. I can tell you that much. And it's also a very hard program to do well in. The amount of time and effort you have to put into putting an act together that's different. You can't just rock up with an ambitious card. You can't just rock up with your coin trick and expect it to do well. It's not going to. You have to stand out. You have to put time and effort in. And that's what these people don't understand. Next time you feel about slagging off Britain's Got Talent or slagging off the magicians that are on Britain's Got Talent, think about how you can actually use it instead to promote yourself as a brand. Okay, so I want to talk to you a little bit about, there's a reason I'm going to bring this up. Okay, there's a reason I'm going to bring this up, right? So you've probably noticed on this channel recently, I've been, ever since my little time away from the spotlight, when I left the community for a couple of weeks and I just went on holiday and had a bit of a break away from YouTube, I've come back and I've been revitalized. I've felt a lot better. And one thing I've been trying to do is make amends. One thing I've been trying to do is hold out olive branches. And you saw that with me interviewing David from Unbiased Magic Reviews. And I thought David did a great interview, and I have a new level of respect for David since I interviewed him. I interviewed Tim Trono. Everybody knows a couple of years ago, myself and Tim Trono and Michael Weber went toe for toe on numerous videos. And, I've had, me and Tim have sat down for dinner, and I've just had him interviewed on my channel about his new magic set and, made an amends with him. I've even publicly apologized to Luke Dancy and taken down any videos that talked about him. I'm more than happy to make amends. I don't need any negativity in my life. Now, with that in mind, with that all being said, I want to give a shout out right now for a couple of reasons to Scott Perry from Everything Pro Magic. Now, me and Scott have gone back and forth over a couple of years now. Most recently, last year, me and Scott went back and forth with a series of videos that didn't make him look any good. It did not make me look any good either. And, we've kind of... I've tried to take a step back from anything to do with Everything Pro Magic. I've not wanted to get involved, but, this is the time right now that I want to hold out an olive branch. And there's a couple of reasons I want to. The first reason is Scott's been doing interviews on his channel, and the interviews have been very, very good. He's done a few interviews recently on his channel, and he even interviewed Teller, for God's sake. And the interviews that he's been getting have not been getting anywhere near the level of views that they should have. So, I wanted to shout out, first of all, that you should go and watch the interviews that he's been doing. They've been very, very good. He's also been upping the TCC and the Vanishing Ink reviews, which is great, and a whole bunch of other reviews as well. But that's not the main reason I want to extend an olive branch. I think now is the time to extend an olive branch. And I'll tell you why. So the man behind Everything Pro Magic, Scott Perry, is a professional magician. He'll openly tell you that one of the reasons why you should watch Everything Pro Magic is because he is a very top professional magician. He has performed all over the world. He's performed for the King and Queen, I believe. He's performed at corporate events all over the UK. If you go and watch his social media, he is literally everywhere. The guy, by any definition, is a success, which is why you should listen to what he says on Everything Pro Magic. Well, he put a post up on his channel, not a video, but a post up a couple of days ago, and it was a picture of a cracked laptop screen, and he said, "Hey, a lamp fell on my laptop, and as a result of that, I no longer have a laptop. I can't edit my videos, and unfortunately, that means that until I get another laptop, I'm not going to be able to upload any reviews onto this channel because, I just can't." And he said it's going to cost £750 or $1,000 to fix. And he's currently in the process of selling some magic to try and kind of expedite this process. So he points people to Instagram and he says, "Hey, you can buy some of my magic from Instagram if you want to." And then he shouts out and says some very nice people have supported the channel by PayPaling him. And at the bottom of every single one of his videos, there is a little PayPal donate button. And he's like, "Hey, I don't know when I'm going to be able to do another review. Hopefully it'll be soon. But until I've raised the money to fix this laptop screen, I'm not going to be able to do anything." So I want to urge the community, if you've not seen his channel, go and check them out. There's some great reviews on there. There's some great interviews on there. If everyone donated just a couple of pounds on PayPal, or just £5, we could get Scott the money that he needs to buy a new laptop. He could be up and running immediately, because, also as a successful close-up magician, not just close-up magician, as a successful magician, I imagine he's going to need a laptop to run his business. It's difficult to run a business just off his phone. So I would imagine, it's really important he gets a laptop in order to run his business, as well as also to run the YouTube channel. And, he can't find this £750. So let's all help him. Scott, I've donated £100 for you. And I hope everyone else donates it as well. Look at this as my olive branch, Scott. I'd really like to make amends, like I have with everyone else in the magic community. I think that I'd like to invite you to be interviewed on my channel, Scott. I really would. I hope you find the money to get the laptop fixed soon, and I hope the money that I've donated to you helps, and I hope that everyone on Magic TV supports you as well, so we can get your laptop back into your hands and we can get you up and running. Let me know about the interview. Okay, so we're going to finally take a look at some new stuff that's come out recently. First up, Mosaic by Christian Scherer, I think it is. This is a new book by Vanishing Ink, and I know nothing about this man, but reading the ad copy, it makes it sound absolutely incredible. I'm telling you right now, this sounds really, 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 really good. There's a keto box concept that's written up in the ad copy that sounds like it's just that there is enough to sell me on the book, to be perfectly honest. So that's available from Vanishing Ink. They've also put it in Murphy's, so it's available from all good magic dealers. You also have the Babu wallet. Now, the Babu wallet by Grum is the extension. It's got released at Blackpool. It's the extension of the Grum nest of wallets, which I said is one of the best tricks that I bought in 2024. Well, in 2025, they've built that into a wallet. So it's a peak device, it's a card to wallet, it's a ring or a coin in nest of boxes, nest of wallets. It's got everything built into this, and it's a really nice looking wallet as well. There's a couple of different versions. So that is the Babu wallet. You can get that from all good magic dealers. A really interesting one that's come out recently is Swing by Michael Rangel and the Magic Apple. Now, Swing is Michael Rangel's version of the ring on string routine, but the classic Swing ring on string routine, where you take the shoelace and you tap it to the small ring and it links on and then it links off. Very, very classic routine. It's been around for a long time. Watching the demo for this, there's moves that this man does with this gimmick that I never thought was possible. So he's doing with this, I'm definitely picking this up. He's doing with this what I love to see happen, which he's building, he's taking a classic of magic and he's really taking it in a completely different direction. So that's Swing by Michael Rangel. It looks great. I haven't got it yet, but assuming the quality is good, I know that that one's going to be amazing. Also, the stick up. I did a video on this with Matthew Wright, so I'm not going to dwell on this, but myself and Matthew have teamed up to produce the stick up, which is basically routines with the Marvelous glue stick, which is a special glue stick that basically works better than Plasti Dip. It works better than Rough and Smooth, and it's like 20 or 30 routines that you can do with this, and there are a metric ton of routines. If you want to go look at the video that I put up with Matthew Wright, we talk in great detail about what this is, what it does, and why you should get it. Also, talking about Vanishing Ink, they have bought out Repertoire 1 and 2 by Assy Wind. Assy Wind, obviously an absolute legend in this community, and Repertoire 1 and 2 have been unavailable for a long time. These are Assy's books. Number 1 obviously has famously his Any Card at Any Number, but there is some incredible magic across the 2 Repertoire books. They are available. They sell out quickly, so I don't know how long they're going to be available for. Talking about Vanishing Ink, they have also just announced the next 2 masterclasses. The Vanishing Ink masterclasses, we have Mark James and Tony Clark. Mark James, by the way, is one of Ryland's favourite magicians. He is an incredible cabaret magician and close-up magician, just all-round good guy. And Tony Clark, I don't think we need to give any introduction to Tony Clark. You know, I'm telling you right now, Vanishing Ink are smashing it with the masterclasses. And then finally, we have Envision by Dave Loosely. So Envision came out about 5 years ago from Dave Loosely. I never saw it back then. They've just brought out a brand new version that's redone, remade, re-edited, recreated, and it's the only Elite Coin Range product that has no involvement from me at all. It looks really good. I'm going to be reviewing it soon, but that is Envision by Dave Loosely. That's your roundup of new tricks coming out this week. Okay, so 2 things before we finish off. Number 1, if you haven't checked out Nemid Phoenix's Magician Levels Up channel, please do so for a couple of reasons. 1, it's my favourite YouTube channel on YouTube at the moment. But second of all, and more importantly, he's just done an incredible interview with Mark James. Mark James did an interview with Nemid and literally spent over an hour talking about show structure, building a show. Masterclass, absolute masterclass. Nemid is doing a fantastic job with Magicians Level Up. If you have not subscribed yet, go and subscribe to Magicians Level Up. It is amazing. And one final point, I'm hoping that this is going up on Thursday. I'm filming this on Tuesday. I believe, and I'm shot myself in the foot if I'm wrong, but I believe that on Wednesday, as in yesterday to you or tomorrow for me, my next trick comes out. My next big trick comes out. My next big solo release comes out with Penguin Magic. Excuse me. And this is called Credit Swipe. I will be doing a full exposure video on it. Absolutely. I'm going to be going through absolutely everything. But Credit Swipe has been in the making for 3 years. I have been doing this now for 3 years. In fact, if you go look at about 2.5 years ago at one of the EDC videos and I open up my wallet, I bring out a stack of blank credit cards and I go, oh, can't talk about this just yet. This has been my #1 EDC for so long. It's why I've been holding off on creating an updated EDC video, because I've wanted to include this, because this is my favorite everyday carry. Basically, it's a printing trick. Think like Presto Printo, that sort of thing. It's a printing trick, but built into credit cards. And the visuals you get are phenomenal. If you haven't checked out the trailer yet, I'm hoping the trailer's up, and I'm hoping this went up yesterday. Else Penguin are going to kill me. Go look at the trailer on the Penguin site. I guarantee you will not be doing hardly anything that gets the reactions that this trick does, because it happens in the spectator's hands. There's no angles. It's easy to do. It's an immediate reset. It's examinable, and it is customizable. So you can make this performance as long or as short as you want to, and use as many or as few credit cards as you want. It's amazing, it's fantastic, and it's available from Penguin Magic. So there you go, guys. That's the next magic news in the bag. Thank you once again for joining me right here on Magic TV. Don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. More importantly, please go ahead and like the video. Please go ahead and like the video, and also go and check out the Netrix. It's my online streaming platform for magicians, and you can get access to it immediately by going to the Netrix. So go check out thenetrix.com. I will see you again. My name's Craig, and this is Magic TV.